This is the progress I've made with my Airstar Mongoose. I just put this right side of the frame on, replacing the ugly black frame that was really rough looking, and it makes a huge difference. And this time I did make a mistake. I moved a couple of the bolts, and when I was trying to put this bolt in at the end, I noticed it was too long. So you have to pay attention to minute details like that, and it's frustrating when you make a mistake like that, because then you have to backtrack and take other bolts out. And you know, I was trying to use process of elimination, deductive reasoning to figure out, you know, like, well, an area that looks like it would need more reinforcement would probably have a longer bolt, and I never did really find it. I ended up putting the longer bolt in here for this piece. It's the piece that joins the two pieces of the frame together. And so for right now, I'm going to leave it like that. Oh yeah, so I was getting ready. I thought I had all 21 of the bolts out. I believe there are 21 bolts altogether, counting the two that hold the muffler on. And I was trying to pull the old frame off, and it was like sticking. And well, why is this sticking? So I got looking, and I actually found there was another bolt that was still on there. But again, that's another advantage of having the white, or sorry, a bright colored frame, because these bolts and the beauty fasteners are black. So when you have a black frame, I mean, the bolts just basically disappear into the frame. Whereas when you have a bright color like this, I mean, you can clearly see all of the bolts throughout there. And now, the person that had the helicopter previously, they drilled for the muffler holes, for whatever reason, they drilled bigger holes. And the challenge is, you do have your generator back there, little electric generators, little electric motor, and the can that goes around that has to be able to spin. So when you can't really see it because it's black, but the center part of that can spins freely. Anyway, so I had to find a smaller bolt, and I did, as I mentioned in the other video, I bought these vice grips, and it makes it so much easier because, you know, you can adjust the vice grips, and you can actually hold the smaller lock nuts, because these lock nuts are very small lock nuts. But since it's adjustable, I mean, you can put the lock nut in there and hold it nice and tight, and this enables you to, you know, put it, these channel locks, vice grips are skinny enough to fit back in there. So the only other problem I really ran into was the bolt that I had found was just a little bit too long. And the problem with that is, you probably cannot see that in there, but this is the generator. Well, the problem was that the bolt was so long that it was sticking all the way up, pressing into the generator. And that's problematic because you might be able to see it spinning there now that I have the flashlight on. But the problem is, if your bolts are too long, with where this it's pretty close, but I believe there's enough clearance there that, you know, it's not rubbing, it's not interfering. As long as this generator spins true, it doesn't wobble, it should not be touching that that bolt. But I think you can kind of see that in there. It's right there. So when before I was even going to replace these frames, and the muffler that was on here was just flat black. It was not this nice shiny Zimmerman muffler, and that one used different bolts, and they were short enough. You know what, and that's actually probably exactly why they drilled, now that I think about it, because that different muffler, that's probably why they had to drill the larger holes to get that different black Zimmerman shaped muffler on there. So then it becomes, you know, pretty much a hunt. So now you're trying to get, you know, you're sifting through your bin of bolts. This is more specific to models. They have this other bin, call it like a kind of a junk bin, and you know, it's a matter of having to dig through that and sift through that to try to you know, get the right size bolt. Now my other Airstar Mongoose doesn't even need the lock nuts on there. So maybe it's just a matter of finding the perfect size bolt in order to put in there, where, you know, I guess in theory if you had a thick enough bolt, it would thread into the hole on the frame, and you wouldn't even have to have a lock nut on the back side of there. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video off and start a new one. The next step is I have a green belly plate. I'm gonna replace the black belly plate that is on there with this one. This is powder coat paint. All the paint on here is powder coated. The advantage of using powder coat, you know, since you're going to have a gasoline engine in there, you can sometimes get the gasoline, which is mixed with two-stroke engine oil on there. And if you just use regular paint, you know, the gasoline would pretty much act like paint thinner, and it would like ruin the paint job. Whereas powder coat is kind of a fascinating process. I've never seen it, but I'm told that basically they get a magnet and they put a magnetic charge through the plate, and the powder coat literally is a powder. And with that, I don't know if it's static electricity or just a straight magnetic charge, but however they do it, you know, they probably run a little bit of electricity through it, whatever, to create a magnetic charge. And then they just, I don't know if they spray, how they do it, they probably spray the powder coat on. So it's literally a powder. So basically they get the powder coat paint to stick to this, and then it's put into an oven, and then it is baked in the oven, and this is the final result. You know, it's a beautiful, nice, smooth paint job. It has a nice sheen to it, and you know, it looks pretty fantastic. And so now these are aluminum pieces, and I think it's going to transform this helicopter. Like I said, everything on here was black. Everything. I mean, the muffler, the tail boom. The tail boom supports the tail guard, protects the tail rotor, the horizontal stabilizer, and again the muffler. So, and like I said, the helicopter was filthy. I've never seen a helicopter this bad. I mean, it was like somebody just abandoned it, either in a garage or maybe even a barn for years and years and years. And I mean, it had just a thick layer of dirt and dust. And as I've been taking it apart, I've been like cleaning it out inside because you get better access. But considering that this stuff is brand new, I mean, you can't get any cleaner than brand new. So I'm going to cut this off here, and next video I'm going to get started on doing my best to replace the belly plate. My only concern is the pulley, because in the past I've had difficulty getting pulleys to pop off. So hopefully I can get that off. And I'm going to cut this off here and get started.